All right, everybody. It's James,
It's Wes.
CIB, right? Basically, we're coming back. We've been really busy with a lot of bullshit.
So we're making a comeback. We're back in action. We're coming back with more shorts. We're coming back with more videos. We're here to be around. Sorry for all the the craziness that's been going on, but we're back.
Y'all know, as well as anybody who's been in active duty, when Uncle Sam says we got to do some stuff, we got to do some stuff. So that's what happened. But we're back.
Yeah. So today we don't really have a topic on mind. It's more of we're coming back, like an introduction back into the craziness. But we're kind of just gonna spitfire, like shoot from the hip, really more than anything, about what we're gonna talk about, like in the upcoming future. Sorry, we're in my garage. I'm moving, so this is the only place we really got.
Also me too, but
Yeah.
my house is way worse than his garage. So
Yeah. So we're in the garage. Sorry, the video quality ain't that great. It is what it is.
it is what it is, man.
But so
Shit.
some of the things that we kind of want to catch up on is since we've been gone, the number one selling book on the market today, as this video is being recorded, is by Luis Elizondo. He's a great author, great person. He's a veteran service member. He's done just about everything. Big government guy. But he came out with a book called Imminent Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs.
Guess what our favorite topic to talk about is?
UFOs. So the great thing about this is he basically comes out and says they're there. There's no like lying anymore. He basically made the government come out and say they're real. So everybody can take that as they want. If you don't want to believe us, don't believe us. I believe they're real. So there's too much evidence to say they're not.
I agree. I mean, just even over the past several decades, if you go down to Mexico, we have several eyewitness reports on that. You remember that
Yep.
video? Or that is a whole series actually. And then it's just over the years, if you know the stuff that we know about specific types of aircrafts that we've made up, like it's very evident that there is other people out there.
Yeah, and the thing is the whole world has known about UFOs, UAPs, whatever you'd like to call them. But the thing is we're in a new time, and we're in a time where the government can't lie as easy as what they used to be able to, because the people don't trust the government anymore. So
Not only that, the people are getting smarter,
yeah.
and that's what the government did not want.
So with this, he literally got published August 20th, 2024. I got the book as soon as it came. Sadly, I haven't had much time to read it. So
Busy
It's-
time.
it's crazy times, but we just kind of wanted to kind of hint at like some of the stuff we're going to talk about. Like for instance, on my laptop, we have a whole bunch of different files from the FBI, CIA, National Archives, everybody. We have a lot of it about different topics and stuff.
There's
stuff
a,
that we're going
uh,
to go over in the future.
There's a continuation of the Japanese airline for that UFO spotting over
Yep.
Alaska.
Yep, we have a whole book of
We
that.
got a lot of notes on that one too.
Yeah, so we finally have the real, actual report. Because if you remember in some of the letters, how all of them were asking, can I have the report? Can I have the report? Can I have the report?
Yep.
Well, we finally did it. We got the report. Took a lot of digging,
Yeah.
but we got it.
It was there. Not actually crazy enough. It's not actually a lot of reading, but it's very obvious that there are some people who did not want specific truths to come to the surface.
Yeah.
So
And in the upcoming future, we probably actually will read page by page to y'all, so you don't have to worry about buying the report or whatever. I bought it just because that's our content. That's what we like to do. So I bought it so we could read it to you guys. But speaking of that, some more topics that we have right here that we kind of want to go over, and like we have files on. So, for instance, we have Bigfoot. We want to go over
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper. We want to go over Hitler. Did
That's
he escape?
That's one of our prized possessions.
Yeah,
right there.
that we have so much
We
data
have a lot of
on the
content
Hitler.
on. Granted, there's going to be a lot of naysayers, but
We have so
We
much
have
content on
content.
Hitler, the SS soldiers, like everything about like the end of the
not
war.
only that, the issue with the soldiers being on stimulants the whole time.
Yeah, so we have a lot of information about World War II Nazi Germany. And then we have information on J. Edgar Hoover, the CIA, like top dog director.
Majestic 12.
We got Majestic 12, which is a secret group organization created by the U.S. government that
To-
government does not want to say is real.
But we all know what their main mission is. We'll get to that when we get to the Majestic 12.
Then we have Project Blue Book, one of the most well-known
Huge.
organizations
Huge one.
in the military that we all know kind of got dissolved because the government did not like people believing in UFOs. Then we got Robert F. Kennedy Sr. assassination. We have information on it.
Information.
We got information on Roswell, specifically Roswell, because there's a lot of information about
Yeah.
Roswell.
A lot of stuff you guys don't know about, but we're going to let you know about it.
We have a lot of information on CIA Stargate, which very interesting project. It is. I have lots and lots of information about Stargate, and I'll kind of hint toward what Stargate is for the people that don't know. It was a CIA program specifically for people that could essentially telepathically like see places that they weren't there. They could give people coordinates on like a piece of paper, and they could tell them what was there. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. So we're talking about transference of Earth. But
It's
no,
a real weird kind
Yeah.
of specific way how to
it's,
say it.
yeah, we'll get into it. I already know what you're talking about
Yeah.
because I don't even have to have
Um,
research that one, even though I have.
Nikola Tesla. That's another
That's a
really
big one.
big one because
Ooh.
everything that Nikola Tesla was about, everything that he created, was all hated by the government. And so when he died, everything, all of his projects, all of his books, everything just disappeared. It's weird that. And then we have specifically a
UFO.
file on UFOs.
Simple enough.
So
So we're coming back at it. We've both been busy, but we got good information.
yeah, that's just like our
That's scratching the
conspiracies and stuff. We still want to do other stuff. Like, for instance, one of my most favorite books of all time is called The Secret. It's a book by what's his name?
Can't remember. But y'all,
Byron Price. That's
y'all,
his
a
name.
lot of y'all may know about this guy because he hides treasures in specific areas, and then you have to pick.
Yeah,
or
you have a
decipher the.
you have pictures
Context is-
and poems that go along each other, and you have to figure out the city, the location. Then you have to figure out where it is, because in every single location has a precious jewel. Byron Price has passed away since then, since he hit these, which is sad.
Yes.
But if you still find if you find the treasure, which is in a clear plexiglass case, it has a little ornate little jar. It looks kind of like a cookie jar,
It's
and it has a
ceramic
key inside.
in the ceramic.
Yeah, it's a ceramic key with a ceramic little. Looks like a cookie jar kind of. It's like a crazy little thing. But if you find it, you can contact the family, and the family will give you the precious jewel that goes with the location. So, like, everybody's kind of figured out the cities. So, for instance, you have one in San Francisco, you have one in Charleston, you have one in Roanoke, you have one in St. Augustine, one in New Orleans, one in Houston, one in Montreal, one in Milwaukee, one in New York, and then there's 3 that actually have been solved.
Cleveland,
Cleveland, Chicago,
Boston.
and Boston. They are super interesting. If you want a real cool kind of show to watch, Expedition Unknown
Really
did
good.
a series on The Secret, and they actually find one in the show, which is crazy because nobody thought it was going to be possible to find them. Like Byron Price, when he made this book, told his family he believed that they were supposed to be found in the first year. This book was published, I believe, in the late 80s, early 90s.
So you're talking.
It's been 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
And they're still hidden. Like,
Nobody's found them.
they've got 3, but there's still 9 left.
9.
Yeah.
9.
So my goal and on my bucket list, I want to find one of these.
Well, both of us.
Yeah. I am from Houston area originally. I've done so much research on. I'll be honest. I've done so much research on the Houston and New Orleans ones that the New Orleans ones I have made breakaways. Houston, I do not. It is probably one of the more difficult ones because it doesn't make any sense because the picture looks like Egypt, and if anybody knows anything about Houston, it's nothing like that at all. It's a giant city.
Yeah. So that makes the difficulty level go up a little bit more than anticipated.
But that's just something we want to get into the treasure. Like we will go over like some of the list, like the text and stuff. I won't specifically say what I've figured out, just because I don't want somebody to be able to get that next step and then find it before I do.
Take the credit you've already,
So I will, in the future, we will read all the like scripts, and you'll be able to look up. So there's a website that's really cool that actually has all the scripts and the pictures. It's called the 12treasures.com. Super good, has all the pictures and shows you which ones are solved and where. But the thing is like, if you want to have something interesting and something fun to do with your children and you want to get out of the house, try this. It's guaranteed treasure if you can figure it out. It's not did the ship sink here and am I sure it sank there? No, it is a guaranteed treasure.
just read context clues, use common sense, and you'll find it.
Yep. And like I said, I'm not gonna play it off as it's an easy thing.
Nope.
It is hard. I've spent probably 4 or 5 years of my life trying to figure out one of these.
Just one, and that was New Orleans.
And I might have an idea, and if I can narrow it down more, I do plan on going to New Orleans to see if I can figure it out.
It's worth the challenge, folks. It's just a brief, scratching the surface. We got a lot of other good stuff coming.
Yeah, we got your basic conspiracies and stuff. You got.
By all means, do not use us as a fact-checking platform.
We're just
trying to
we're just going through a list of conspiracies,
bring
and
new
stuff.
information to the surface. That's what we do.
Yeah, and we're gonna list off some conspiracies and stuff that if you want us to do, more in depth about, let us know. So you got black helicopters in the U.S. That was a big one back in the '60s because they were unmarked helicopters. They weren't marked at all, so people were kind of terrified of them.
Little birds.
You got chemtrails, a real big one where people believe that they're spraying chemical or biological agents on people. That's coming out of planes. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not gonna make fun of anybody at all, but in my opinion, chemtrails is the probably least possible thing.
Yeah, because there's way more to that than
And then you got
people actually know.
the conspiracy of Korean Airlines flight 007 in '83 was shot down by the Soviets, but
Maybe.
they don't know for sure that it was the Soviets. And you got Malaysian Airlines MH370, one of the only planes that's ever disappeared without us finding. So that's a really big, interesting one. That one we could do lots of content on. Then you got Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 was shot down over Ukraine in 2014.
Yeah.
Then you got your kind of business and industry conspiracies like Deepwater Horizon.
Well, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola's been a conspiracy for ever.
Death of Nero, JFK assassination. I did a lot of research on that one.
Essentially, what we're getting at, folks. If you got recommendations or if you want us to dig into something, let us know. You have, you know who we are. You know how to get a hold of us. And then me and Wes are really efficient researchers.
And I want people to, if you know how to become a Freemason, let me know. I kind of want to become a Freemason.
So,
It's just one of those cool things that I've always wanted to learn.
and then we have our own military experiences. If you guys want information on that, within reason, because some of the stuff we can't talk about. But
Yeah, there's a lot we can't really talk about, but we can do what we can. 9/11, that's a big one.
shit,
That's a big conspiracy.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Epstein.
that's a huge.
That's a
I watched a huge documentary on that one, but she got busted wide open.
deep state. That's a really
That's a big one. Trump, Biden, everybody knows about that one. Voting principle, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah, artificial disease.
Big
COVID.
one. Another big one. Cancer.
Well, yeah.
People curing cancer. There's been multiple people that have came out and said they've cured cancer and that go missing.
Extraterrestrials, you already know that. We're gonna dig into that one.
MK
Ultra, of course.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one.
Flat Earth. That's another one. I'm sorry.
Well, that's more
That-
like a comedic show for me, but whatever.
Those people really just. I'm sorry.
It made me laugh, and I'm sorry if I offend you, but yeah, let's be honest here, folks.
If y'all want us to talk about sports, we definitely can.
Yeah,
There's a lot of like conspiracies about like if is the sports rigged.
Also, a lot of Olympian sports is
A lot of football too. The NFL is like one of the
there's
biggest like.
Olympian because there was this guy with being an Olympic cyclist. There's that story, and then there's the Michael Phelps issue with his information.
There's a lot of different things we could talk about. Like I said, we want to kind of get more into treasure too. We want to get into history. So if there's any kind
Literally-
of crazy history things y'all want us to look and research and make a video, we definitely will.
Put a big stamp on it. Conspiracy. We'll look into it.
And cryptids. Cryptids for sure.
Cryptids for sure. UFOs, obviously, and then we have both of our military backgrounds. If you guys are interested in what we know, that'll be a different episode entirely. But
Because
keep in mind, there is only certain information that either one of us can actually disclose on what we've actually done.
Because the thing with cryptids, there's a kind of a series that I want to do. I want to do the every state cryptid. So every state has their own cryptid. So like Texas has Chupacabra, New Jersey has the Jersey Devil. You got Florida is like I think it's the skunk man, the 8-man.
I can't remember about
But I want to do a cryptid for every state. That's 50 episodes. We won't do them all back to back to back,
No.
but we will be doing at least a 10-minute to 15-minute video at a minimum on every single cryptid. Like there's some cryptids out there that probably will be a lot harder to like dig information up. It is what it is. Like,
It is.
but
Yep.
and then like, for instance, Bigfoot. Bigfoot is in its own because it's been seen in multiple different states.
Yeah, and then let me caveat. Bigfoot has so many different branches. Okay, because everybody has their own version of Bigfoot.
Yep.
So, yes, Bigfoot is one of our favorites, but yes, it's not the easiest to cover down on because everybody around the world has their own version of Bigfoot.
Yeah, because you got like the Himalayas, you got the Yeti. There's Yeti up in Siberia, Russia.
Yeah, Siberia.
You got the Florida. I'm pretty sure it's the Skunk Man.
Yeah, but
It's
the
big.
same guy.
It's Florida Bigfoot basically.
Let's see if we can
Florida.
Bigfoot. Let's see what it says.
The skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
That's
Yep.
what it is. Is a mythical human-like
Go to
creature.
images and see if anybody's got some interesting something.
Well, they're all fake.
Yeah, they're all fake, of course. Okay, well, yeah, so, funny enough, that's a lot of the commercials. So,
But yeah, no. So like for instance, like I said, we want to do a cryptid on every state. Like to be honest, like I don't even know like some of the states like cryptids. Like
I mean, shit. Folks, if you guys got folks, ties in with folks where we can actually even, like, go where there's potential spottings for some version of this Bigfoot being, and we said this several episodes back, right, Les? Hit us up, we'll go.
why am I so dumb? I know the Louisiana one because I'm originally from like the border of Louisiana, Texas. It's the Rougarou.
Yeah, I remember the name.
That's why.
Rougarou.
Yeah, it's the Louisiana's got the Rougarou.
A lot scarier than Bigfoot, just put it that way.
Yeah, it is a very
Ooh,
creepy.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
That is a scary dude.
yeah. The Rougarou is a very, and it's essentially Bigfoot again, but very.
Way more strong.
It's like a werewolf looking.
Yeah, he's got like a werewolf, and then
He's got like a werewolf
crazy
head, like
runner's body.
crazy, like arms and claws, like just an all around like
Pretty much
crazy.
badass motherfucker. I would apologize for my language, but if you guys don't like our show, you don't have to watch it.
And like, but yeah, no, like I said, I plan on doing
Come on, let's do it.
another big one that we didn't even talk about, Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh,
That can be a huge
Let's do it.
one.
Let's
to
do it. Let's do it.
We did. I just thought about like because we were talking about Bigfoot and UFOs. Skinwalker Ranch
Yep.
has some of the craziest stories.
And you can't. Okay, so yeah, there is information to be like, are you sure? But then there's also information like any of the topics we will discuss. It's like you can't ignore the details here, folks. So let's. I mean, come on.
And I will say one of the
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
One
you
of-
guys want to follow up?
one of the creepiest things, in my opinion, cryptid wise, is skinwalkers. It is the scariest thing watching like the videos of people like that. There was one that will always stick in my head that I've seen forever. It was a mom and her youngest child. She dropped off her oldest son at a friend's house, and he wasn't supposed to come home or anything, but she just randomly starts getting banging on her bedroom door. And it's like, it sounds just like a kid screaming, let me in, let me in. But the thing is like the son just called from the friend's house, not even like 30 seconds before, saying he was okay.
So the hooks are set.
So super creepy.
Creepy.
Oh,
I mean, come on, we're into creepy. Folks.
Something from my childhood, and probably James's too, that I want to bring back. Creepy pasta, dude. We're bringing back creepy pasta, even if it's like short videos, like shorts. We're bringing back creepy pasta. Creepy pasta stories were the best. As a
I
kid.
apologize, folks, for looking at my phone. We're supposed to have a hellacious storm coming through here soon.
Yeah, we got a hurricane coming.
We'll be alright.
It's crazy to me that this website's still a thing.
Creepypasta. This is the one where I
It's,
read about the Russian
yeah, the
sleep trial.
experiment. Yeah, everybody knows the Russian
Sleep.
sleep trial.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
It's creepy as
and,
shit, dude.
and when you're a kid, you're just like,
You
oh,
have
no.
nightmares about
Yeah.
that shit.
Let's see. Let's just go over like the top.
Go just for instance, sleep trials, or it's not that a Russian. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let me see.
They even got it still.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely there.
It has to
just
be
find
because
it.
this is.
Oh, that's even better. So when we come to read these to you, there's a random story button.
Woo!
We can, instead of us just picking, we can randomly click the button, read a story.
This
So,
will give us the
Russian-
same experience as you folks, because we're reading it at the same time you're hearing it.
Because to be honest with you, haven't read any of these since literally I was in like middle school.
Lordy, I remember the Russian sleep trials. I had
I think that's it.
Some nightmares on that one.
The
Yep,
Russian-
absolutely, it's right there. Russian sleep experiment. My bad.
Whew.
Creepy. Super creepy.
This will be our first creepypasta we will read. We're not gonna read it in this one.
Yeah, nah, we're just
But
trying to tell y'all we're back.
First creepypasta we're gonna read.
Russian.
So, I'm thinking, what if we do a Russian, like not a creepypasta at the beginning? No, let's do a creepypasta at the end of every episode. We do.
How about we let them decide?
So, for instance, like we're about to kind of cut this video to an end.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We're gonna roll out.
read you. This can be like the future. We're gonna read you the Russian sleep experiment. A
First one
creepy.
from Creepypasta. Yes, we're shouting out to Creepypasta. We don't have copyright shit, so we have to give them recognition.
Oh, is it only an audio book?
Ah,
I don't have.
they can't use
excuses.
a copy of it, huh?
Yeah, I think it's only an audio. Yeah, an audio story.
So what we could do is audio pause commentary, audio pause commentary. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to look that one up. We're gonna click a random story.
Well, let's go here. Start.
Creepypasta's got a lot of ads. God, it's got a lot of ads.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't work. Time
Well.
to go to famous creepypastas. Sorry about that. How about this one? Holy gosh. Okay, this one is literally called 1999.
Well. Alright, what's
So-
5? I'm old. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet. I was born in 2000. Okay, oh god. We're not going to read this whole thing because apparently the estimated reading time is 33 minutes.
That's a long one.
Here, actually, let's find one that's not crazy long, just because I don't want to. I don't want us to be reading forever.
By the way, folks, if you haven't realized, me and Wes both have ADHD. So, that's what's happening.
57 minutes.
Lord have mercy.
It's getting longer.
So, like, a year was longer than some other shit? Like, what the fuck?
So what about this one? How long is this one?
I guarantee.
8 minutes. 8 minutes. Okay.
There you go.
This one. Overview. Don't forget about the overview.
What's it called? Candle Cove. What?
This one is called Candle Cove.
Ah, that's it.
See if we can figure out how to read. Where's the story?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I think all the right words are like literally.
Those are comments.
Oh, they're just common?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, alright, well, never mind.
Sorry guys, I haven't did creepypasta in forever, so I don't really know how to read, like get to the actual story apparently. They have a YouTube channel now?
Interesting. Oh, I see.
Maybe I found it. Okay, I think I found it.
Stand by.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this website now.
Looks like you're back in the comments.
Yeah, I know, like where did we go to? Sorry.
For the record, we're still gonna post this video, even though it's goofy.
Yeah. Let me just click. Why can't I just wish that would work?
But if you want, I can just pick up one of the turtles and then show the camera.
No.
People like turtles.
Let's see here. How long is this one to read? 20? No, we're not doing that. Sorry, I'm trying my best here, guys. We were not prepared. Like I said, we were firing from the hip, and I'm trying to find one that's not 30 minutes to read. This is 17 minutes. Let me see if I can figure out how to read it. I think I found
Yeah,
it.
that's it. I think we can save that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this to y'all. 17 minutes. This one is called the James
Curry film.
Yeah, the James Curry film.
Just let me know when you want to tag team this.
Okay, so I'll read the first paragraph.
Yeah.
It
Here we go.
was never a dull moment's drive. Scotland was by definition a beautiful country of inspiring scenery, majestic and relentless weather. Evie's old hatchback had taken a beating from the rain and protruding tree branches that flicked across the windshield on this dark and stormy night in late December 1996. A single peppermint sweet flicked between her cheeks, and the imposing view of her desired destination made her belly knot up. Over the winding roads across the blackened slick of Soden Fields, a great stately home rested just next to the shore of one of the world's most famous bodies of water, Loch Ness.
The sole of Evie's aching foot and her red leather boot pressed gently to bring the car to a squeaking halt. Only that same day, wait, hold on, I skipped a line, stopped in a large puddle created by the elements. Only on that same day, the occasional bolt of lightning sent an illumination that lit the entire landscape. The dark, busy water of Loch, the breaking trees, and the ancient ruins of Urquhart Castle could be seen across the water opposite to the great hall. She swiped the fog from her thick-rimmed glasses and leaned forward to observe the wrought iron gate that lay open. It seemed to invite her into the grounds while two menacing stone grotesque heads gazed upon her. The creatures themselves resembling that of the elusive beast itself, the Loch Ness monster.
Outside the confines of the warm car, the wind screamed down in a rapish gale, no stranger to extreme Scottish weather. She took a swig of something lukewarm from her plastic travel mug before exiting the car, grabbing a small leather satchel from the boot and walking down the snaking gravel driveway towards the foreboding, dark residence. Her grandfather used to tell her there was no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes. He'd taken that from an old book of Scottish proverbs and lived firmly by it until his death. Her boots crunched the wet gravel and beads of heavy rain rolled off her hood. She noticed the old Victorian lamps that lit the driveway coming in just next to the glistening, wet yet manicured lawns. 2 rooms on the ground floor of the sprawling palace appeared to have lights on. One could have been lit by the old-fashioned red and greens of bulbs that flickered from a Christmas tree. She thought it was a very similar sight to something you'd see in one of those Hammer horror flicks of the 1970s. Ivy tendrils crept up the walls, pointing to cracks in the roof. The sounds of wind wailing and hissing from the shoreline could penetrate ears a mile away down the narrow path.
She grasped the antique iron knocker on the large oak door and banged 3 times. Her grandfather used to say it was the devil's 3. He had a superstition about evil coming in 3s.
A gold plaque encrusted on the brick wall above the post box proudly read, "The Ordained Society of Loch Ness Monster Hunters."
The stiffened hinges on the heavily constructed oak door groaned when it opened and presented a handsome bearded man in a tartan checkered sweater and salt and pepper hat. He put Evie in the mind of Sean Connery, only with more liver spots. Okay, that's funny. He greeted her with a welcoming warmth.
"Let's get you inside and out of the weather, young lass," he politely exclaimed. The wind whistled and gale inside the echoed hallway when the door slammed firmly behind her.
She thanked her host and pulled back her hood to view her surroundings.
"The drawing room is just down the hallway," the man said. "You can make yourself comfortable in there. Are you a smoker?"
No, I don't smoke, she said with an awkward smile, satchel gripped tightly to her hip. She removed her red raincoat and watched him place it on some nasty shaped hangers by an umbrella stand. For a man in his 70s, he moved swiftly and energized.
Pity, I have some excellent cigars I just had arrived this morning from a friend in Nicaragua. Early Christmas present. I'll be with you in a minute. I must make a quick phone call.
The wood creaked underneath his strong frame when he hurried down the hallway in his slippers. Evie walked down the opposite large hallway towards the lit room at the end, the water from her sodden boots absorbed by each step on the patterned carpet runner. Each wall sconce lighting green and red tinsel. The Yuletide merriments seemed like a facade to the dark history of this place that she questioned in her mind. Along each beautifully wainscoted wall were detailed wood carvings of the mysterious creature making its way towards the drawing room entrance. The ruby-tinged hardwood floor creaked with every step, even on top of the carpet runner. The sheer grandeur of the place was imposing, and Evie tried not to feel vulnerable. Her prior research had suggested it was just the two of them to meet this evening, but with a place as vast as this, one could never be certain. Every room she passed along the way seemed to have shapes in them, shapes with eyes that watched her every move carefully.
A gorgeous Christmas tree stood 8 feet tall in the drawing room, wrapped in old-fashioned tinsel with a Nessie head placed on top of the place of the typical star or fairy. Next to the tree, a large open fireplace snapped and crackled with dry wood. The smell of oak leather and fine cigar smoke topped off the seemingly relaxing atmosphere. It smirked of Monterey tittlings. Cozy would have understated the appearance. It looked like a painting on a Christmas card, yet Evie was not so snug. She was very much aware of her surroundings and had a bound duty to be on her guard in the presence of this man. Her eyes were quickly drawn to the walls, each a gallery of pictures and photos, with an air of mystery dedicated to the Society's disclosed findings, black and white photography, art, newspaper clippings, and even what appeared to be dried reptilian skin samples. A large burro and chair sat in one corner of the room that featured a crystal whiskey decanter, and behind that a huge bay window with a wide view of the moonlit loch itself.
It is Miss Gordon, I presume, the heavy voice inquired stoutly and sent a chill through Evie when he entered the room behind her.
It's Miss Grant, Evelyn Grant, she said. We spoke on the phone earlier today.
And the man appeared to be taken aback. Very good, I'm Dr. Alistair McKendrick, he said, and offered a firm handshake that enveloped hers. I heed the Society of the Ordained Society of the Loch Ness Monster Hunters, long title. I know, and I forgot easily, more so in my old age.
His charming smile did little to comfort her. She laid down her satchel next to the large leather couch and kept her smaller purse on her within reach of her cold hands. She chewed upon the remains of the bony mint in her mouth and swallowed before scanning the walls in the room and keeping a watchful distance from the man. Dr. McKendrick checked the antique clock on the wall and saw its ticking hand, soon to be at the 11 o'clock chime.
It's hard not to be captivated by this room, he said. It's my favorite in the entire headquarters, and as such, it's where I conduct most of my business. This room is the center of, or rather, the heart of the house. The mansion itself was donated to the organization by one of our benefactors, Lady Catherine Shaw. I tried to let its walls talk and tell the tales of exploits past.
Evie's left eye vibrated slightly when she saw the fingernails on her hand chewed down from the sheer nerves upon coming here. She feigned distraction, but that acute stressing tell was visible. That was until a curiosity did capture her interest on the wall. It was a large painting depicting the giant grayish-brown monster and facing down a priest whose expression was fierce and determined. She removed her glasses to wipe away the steam from the room's fiery warmth.
What's the painting supposed to be, Doctor? She asked.
The doctor scratched his beard with a social satisfaction, and Evie caught sight of the healed, shaving cuts on his face. He loved telling stories and being invited to enlighten people on a subject he knew everything about, provided with him endorphins worthy of spending money on.
This is the beginning of the monster's origins, he said. Saint Columba is the man in the painting. He was an Irish holy man who came to Scotland in the year 563 AD. He'd been spreading the word of the Lord to the Pictish tribes of that time, creating a sense of unity among them, of which those pagan savages sorely lacked. In the year 565 AD, at the banks of the River Ness, a few miles off the Loch's northern end, one of the tribesmen was being buried by the riverbank. Saint Columba asked the men what happened, to which they told him he'd been partially eaten by a large water beast. After being told this, Columba sent one of his own companions out to swim across the river, and lo and behold, a great beast rose from the depths. However, Saint Columba was brave and determined. He made the sign of the cross and ordered the monster to go back to wherever it came. It then vanished, never to bother the saint or his tribe ever again.
Evie turned from the painting and saw the doctor was standing right next to her. She moved away to gather her bearings and gave a questioning look. So it just left?
Absolutely, yes. The will of God made it so. The tribes believed they had all witnessed a miracle that day, and St. Columba's own legend grew among the church.
And your society of Nessie hunters believes this story?
Dr. McKendrick chuckled dryly with an acid tone. Absolutely not. The problem with the story is that the original truth of them eventually dies over time. The original account of St. Columba facing the monster was written over 800 years after the event happened. And after that, for hundreds of years, there was seemingly nothing to write about when it came to the creature.
Evie felt the beads of sweat trickle down her head. With the remnants of rain, the fireplace was hot, but her feelings of impending dread was getting tougher to mask.
So, when did the modern day sighting occur? She asked.
There were reports made in the late 1800s of sightings, one of a large creature propelling itself into the dark waters just off the shore. It was only until the 1930s that we had some extremely interesting witness accounts of the monster.
Such as?
In 1933, George Spicer and his wife reported a dragon-like creature crossing the road in front of their motor car carrying a dead animal in its mouth. Then in 1934, a Mr. Arthur Grant described nearly hitting the creature while riding his motorbike down the same stretch of road, the stretch of road being the same one you would have taken coming here tonight. This stretch of road was originally paved in 1933 and therefore has led to many sightings. Before then, nobody came handy at walking that close to the store down this way. Mind you, like all stories, the written word can also be unreliable. Once you hear one report, it creates a ripple effect of people seeking fame and fortune, and others who just want some attention to take away from their sad and pathetic lives. In this society, we mean to seek hard proof.
The doctor kept his eyes locked onto Evie's at every opportunity, clipping away at the stone wall.
Then I have exactly what you're looking for, she stated firmly. The reason for her visit was about to bear fruit.
You have something to show me in the satchel you packed with you?
Yes.
What is it?
Irrefutable evidence of the creature's existence.
Dr. McKendrick saw the look in her eyes and paused for a moment. He then made his way over to the desk and poured up a drum of whiskey for himself in a delicate crystal glass. All the while, Evie was sure she heard a thudding noise coming from somewhere upstairs.
Would you care for a glass of Islay's finest, he offered?
I love one, she said, knowing it might slow her nerves a bit.
Evie listened to that delicate clink of the glass and accepted the warming neat double to temporarily subside her anxiety.
Excellent choice, the doctor said. That's the drink of a young lady who has a lot to say.
Out of the corner of her scrutiny, she saw a proud smile materialize on Dr. Strong face. The reaction to one of the photos on the wall. She knew he was eager to say something about it, even more so than seeing what she had come here for. She held the whiskey glass to her nose for a second to sample the smoky scent of the undoubtedly expensive scotch before measuring the very odd black and white framed photograph of a blurred shape in the water.
That's just etiquette, folks. This is one of the very first photographs taken of the creature. He said the original native was lost, and this picture has deteriorated over time. Nothing to get excited about anyway.
Why is that?
It's actually a close-up picture of an otter. The doctor spoke with an expression of harshness.
Why is that so important? And he asked.
The doctor didn't respond immediately. He was unreadable, almost as though the layers of warmth and hospitality were peeled back to reveal a mold behind the wallpaper, a dirty, disgusting reunion. Instead of answering the question, she watches his finger point to the next gold-framed photograph on the display. You might have to cut calls on it because you gotta roll out, big dog.
Yeah, we're almost done.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, stand by, folks.
Actually, no.
We got a lot.
17 minutes, my butt.
It's like fucking 30.
Alright, sorry guys, we're not gonna be able to finish this one. It said 17 minutes, but this thing is like 4 pages long.
I gotta get my kids out the bus.
And I gotta go to
He's
work.
gotta go to work.
So,
More
more to come.
To be continued. Yeah?
Yep, more to come though from us for sure. We'll try to get us a couple shorts out and stuff. I know y'all like our funny content, so we'll probably try to do some funny stuff.
I'm funny.
But that is about all we got for this video though.
We'll peace out to y'all, but we'll come back later. Granted, super random, but we're just getting ourselves, back out on the line.
Yeah, we're just trying to get ourselves comfortable again.
All right, y'all. I'm James.
And I'm Wes.
CIB. See y'all next time.
Peace.